We're going to have some seriously
changes.
cold air on the way, and I think it's actually going to be quite the change from what we've seen recently. We've had a pretty mild autumn and really mild start to winter so far. The first 12 days of December have been about 3 degrees above average as the mean temperature. So we're going to see things flip the other direction as we go towards the end of the month. The first part of this is going to be the pattern changing storm we talked about last week. That storm's moving across the country. It's a really potent storm. Now, thankfully for us, we're going to be on the cool side of it. I mean, you're probably saying, thankfully, how's that thankfully? Well, if we were on the warm side, we'd have severe weather. And I do think we'll see some significant severe weather just to our south. We will see heavy rain and yes, maybe even a little bit of icing on the eastern facing slopes, but it shouldn't be that much of a big deal. More of an issue as you go up towards Virginia, West Virginia, and Maryland. You can see the front eventually sweeps through late on Thursday. There's the severe weather risk today and tonight. Tomorrow down along the lower Mississippi River Valley and then the Gulf Coast and heading down into the Panhandle of Florida on Wednesday. We're going to see heavy rain from this for sure. Right now for Wednesday, we're already in the low to medium range for severe, or I should say a flash flood risk. This is the excessive rainfall outlook. I wouldn't be surprised to see this expanded as we go into Thursday. I know it seems like it's rained a lot, and it really has been more about the number of days with rain in it than the amount of rain, because for the month we've only seen about 3/4 of an inch of rain. That's actually below average, and it's not just Charlotte, it's most of the surrounding areas. So it's been more the mist or drizzle that's been persistent, and it really hasn't told a lot. This will be a different system. These are going to be downpours. I'm talking 1 to 3 inches of rain possible Wednesday into Thursday. And you can see it coming at us in waves as we go into Thursday morning, and by the afternoon Thursday starts to move out. So this is some particularly heavy rain. Look at the 5-day rainfall forecast. You're in that 2 to 5 inch rainfall amounts in the western part of the Carolinas, and that's basically over a 2-day period. It's basically from the same system, so it's not spread out over the 5-day period. It's Wednesday night into Thursday that rain moves in. I'll show you what it looks like as far as the totals. Watch the timing of this. Some of these totals, again, 2 to 3 inches of rain possible with over an inch. This would be by far the most rain we've seen since going back into November. Now the pattern, as I talked about, getting closer to Christmas later in the month, cold air is beginning to spill south out of Canada, and we're seeing more of a cold pattern setting up for the lower 48. So when we look at the 6 to 10 day outlook, below average temperatures are likely for most of next week. Remember, the averages are falling too. We're going to be in the low to mid 50s for average highs. So by the time we get to Christmas, we could be well below average. Now, before we get too excited about winter weather, there's no sign of that right now. Snow on Christmas here is incredibly rare. It's only happened 4 times. Everyone remembers 2010, officially at almost a half an inch, but it snowed into the day after Christmas. Only 2% of the time in recorded history have we had snow on Christmas. In fact, you're more likely to see 70 degrees on Christmas Day here, which has happened 6 times as opposed to 4 times for snow. But this year, it's going to be cold. We're not going to see 70 this year. Here's a look at your Guy Roofing 7-day forecast. You see the temperatures mainly in the 40s and 50s, but next week, progressively colder. We're talking upper 40s, mid 40s, and morning lows in the 20s. We'll be right back.